everyone, ockpii here, and on today's video I'll be discussing a new race that they've added to Starbound, as well as 3 new screenshots. Enjoy! So this new race is the Avian Culture, and basically they worship the god of Kluix, which is the winged god of Aether or something. They have no wings, as you can see from the amazing image that is shown here, and they believe it's because of a punishment for entering the mortal world, and with that they'll only regain their wings in the afterlife. And that is if they ever achieve the absolution that they can achieve through worshipping. Throughout their existence, the Avian Culture has been quite primitive, so they didn't use many machines or any scientific things. And this meant that the race started to decline because they couldn't sustain themselves. As such, a superior race felt sorry for them and gave them the gift of advanced technology. And this superior race may be something that turns out to be in the game, who knows? And this new technological and scientific ability allowed them to flourish and spread across the entire universe, building worship temples wherever they went in order to achieve this absolution that I told you about. Avian soldiers are said to be trained from birth to be fierce warriors, and they protect their temples at any cost, sort of like the dungeon guarder in Terraria, except less scary, I'm assuming. The weapons that they carry may look primitive. As you can see, their weapon kind of looks like a spear, and that's it. But since they now have the gift of technology, they are quite advanced and deceiving to the eye. So maybe they can actually throw their little disc that they have on the spear, maybe the leaves are poison darts, who knows. Also, since they have no wings, the Avian generals forged wings from themselves that were kind of like jetpacks, or maybe the angel wings on Terraria. Also, Avians have been known to stray from their religious culture, so I don't think that they'll ever get their wings back in this said afterlife then. And because of that, they're called the Grounded now, and they became outcasts and find solace among other races. Moving on to the first screenshot, we see here the first screenshot of an Avian temple, and here it is. It's a pretty damn nice structure. It kind of reminds me of Mayan or Egyptian structures. And first of all, let me just point out that that is the character of Tai sitting there in the kind of Holocaust thing. It actually looks like a face from this angle, but if you kind of turn it like this, you can see it's Tai. We see 2 birds right next to it on the left right there, and one of them has wings, and maybe those are the jetpack wings that I've talked about a few moments ago. And there's another dude with a shield and a spear, which you can clearly see is a soldier. If you take a quick look at the walls, you can see that there are 3 holes that have red things on them, and I don't know what that is. So give me your opinions, your suggestions. I don't know what that is. You can see that there are also vines on the ceiling, and you have these kind of structure columns to support the roof and the ceiling. And once again, that can be either a dab at physics or just decoration. And I think it's decoration on this case. You can also see a bunch of jars with various different forms everywhere. There's also a different kind of torch, and as you can see, the leg that is farther away from the camera is dark, which gives us a very nice impression of depth. And the jar that's to the left seems to have this weird blue thing that's kind of like a cat stuck, and throw sand at him. Yes, and as you can see, the temple seems to go on because there's no wall on that side, so maybe that's the entrance or something like that. There's also golden chests, which again have that 2/4 perspective again. We also have a pit with spikes and a spear and a bone and another bone and a lantern with a genie that can come out. I can't see these having a practical purpose. I think they're either just decoration or just debris from a fall, I don't know. Next to the altar there's also a golden statue with something with a very weird face. At least I see a face, and 2 arms pointing up, kind of like, yay, mommy, daddy. I don't know. There's also a symbol that might be their god, Kluix. That kind of reminds me of how in Majora's Mask you kind of point your mirror shield at the sun on the dungeon from Ikana Valley, and they start shining and the little rays start spinning. Maybe that happens here. I don't know if they actually include a mirror shield here in this game, but that'd be pretty cool. Finally, I'd just like to mention that the little coffin that Tai is strapped to looks quite nice. Moving on to the second screenshot, we see here a human raid to one of their temples, their worship temples, and first let's just all collectively take a big giant look at the sky. That looks pretty damn cool. We haven't seen an Aurora Borealis since that old screenshot with the penguins and the mammoth and all that, so it's very nice to see one again. And the mountains seem pretty straightforward except for that giant sphere, which I would say is a planet, but that kind of be glowing in a way, I don't know. So yes. Taking a closer look at the temple, we see that the 4 characters all have the same armor. 2 of them have flashlights, and 2 of them have 2 different guns that we haven't seen before. And the one with Furious George's hair seems to have a bit of beard, so that's probably a thing from the character customization settings. Also, taking a quick look at the floor of the temple, you see that it has a blue line, and that doesn't look like it could be carpet because it's very weird and only a pixel tall. So I'm assuming that's water or something like that. I don't know why that would be, but yes. On the extremities of the temple, we see those cool new torches there, and we see the normal torches scattered around in the temple. Something I'd like to point out about the torches is that they don't look very bright. They seem kind of washed out, and their colors seem to be very bland. I think they should emit some sort of glow and halo, and I don't know, and I think that the shadows that they cast from other objects on the background should be a little more evident, but that's just me. We have more sort of like hieroglyphs on the wall and on the blocks, and we have a new type of brick, that's the roof and the ceiling there. We have a very nice grid-like window, and we have a table and 2 chairs with that 2/4 perspective that looks very nice as well. Now let's take a quick moment to think about this for a second. We're playing as humans now, and this temple is here. So we're not playing as the Avians, so we didn't create this temple, which means that they are randomly generated. If the Avians are supposed to live in and defend this temple, then that means that we can probably interact with other playable races regardless of the race that we're playing as. So if we're playing as the humans, we might have a chance of encountering avian foes or something like that because they'd be defending the temple. Which begs the question, did these guys actually kill Avians that were here? But this is kind of a dab at the thing that we can't build things block by block. They're probably randomly generated or something. Because if this avian house was already here, it was randomly generated, and it's a playable race. So who's to say that human houses aren't already placed as well if we play as avian, or even if we play as humans? That's just me overthinking things, but that's what I'm here for. That's what I get paid. I don't get paid. Finally, for the new screenshot, we have sort of another flashback. We have the aurora again, as we did on the old screenshot, and we have a snow biome, as we did on the old screenshot as well. We have an igloo, and we see this very cool ice wall and ice bricks. This may be randomly generated, or maybe just a random structure that the players found, which may mean that there's an Eskimo or a penguin race. So maybe the penguins are actually playable? I don't know. We can see that the trees are covered in snow. It would be interesting if they actually dropped snow if we rammed them, or it would be interesting if they actually dripped a bit if it had been raining or something like that, assuming that there's going to be weather phenomenon. We see that one of the guys has sort of a stick or a shovel inside of the igloo. I don't know what he's doing. He can be either digging, or that can be like a torch that you carry with you and you go around with it. So maybe he's lighting his torch or actually setting that fire. Also, if I brighten this up, you can see that there is a bush with some flowers on the right. How lovely. We can also confirm from this image that lighting isn't colored, at least not at the moment, because torches are perfectly white, as well as the flashlight. And that's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed my analysis. If you're new to this channel, I do a bunch of analysis videos, as well as some gameplay videos, primarily on King Arthur's Gold for the time being. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and give me your opinions on Starbound or anything else on the comment thread. Also, I haven't really mentioned this anywhere, so there's now a link to my Twitter on the lower left corner of this outro screen. So just click that link over there where my Twitter name is, and make sure to follow me on Twitter for just random stuff that I say, and even updates on videos. So until next time I meet you guys, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a great day and weekend if this is uploaded at the right time. Goodbye!